We've talked so much through Thought Summer about how narrative, story, and specifically cinema, but all narratives can be used for different purposes. So we said that, art can be used as a call to action. It can be used as a warning. It can be used as an exploration. It can be documentation, and it can even just be self-indulgent, but belie a deeper truth. And the final thing I want to say is that popular art can create political change. And this is something people don't like too much, especially in the progressive sphere, because they feel as if it has been co-opted by a lot of artists who say that they're trying to make change through their art, but perpetuate the same themes. But there really is often a chance at changing the hearts and minds of people through popular media. And so, though we may be a very highfalutin publication, the reason we still cover mainstream popular artistry is that it is political and it can make a change. And I would encourage you, if you're watching this thinking, I just want to make films like Jean-Luc Godard, to reconsider. And the person I want to think of, and may he rest in peace and I'm not going to cry, is Rob Reiner. One of my favorite directors, Rob Reiner. He could not be contained. His filmography spans the most insane group of films you could ever imagine for one man to have directed in his lifespan. And I won't even get into all of the titles now, but look up Rob Reiner. And the reason I say this is that his popular media always, at the end of the day, said something deeper about life and love, and looking out for one another and community. And it wasn't always fully Marxist or socialist or whatever you might want to say, progressive, but it was honest. Sometimes there were warnings. It was a clear and complete and concise documentation of his time. And sometimes Princess Bride, he put a little whimsy in there. He did something a little bit fun for children, but that still had a really core message. And popular art is not the enemy. Popular art is not the enemy. Making something with the express purpose of having a lot of people see it, and creating something that a lot of people will be comfortable seeing, and then providing some kind of information, a warning, a piece of parable, a hope, a piece of political action, that will provide huge amounts of change and growth within the collective. I do not throw popular media away, not only because I think it is arrogant to do so, but because I think it is actually lazy to ignore the effects popular art can have on culture, and to sit and assume that it is going to be nothing but slop, or that it is going to be the lowest common denominator, is an opinion I hear from a lot of people a lot of the time, and it is afactual. Almost everyone I know that got into film because of popular media, popular films. Spielberg, Scorsese, these are not filmmakers that made films for niche indie art house places. George Lucas thought he was an indie art house filmmaker, and he made Star Wars, and it was a blockbuster. He invented the blockbuster, thinking he was making an indie film. Do not throw away popular media just because everybody says that it works to the lowest common denominator. Number one, that's not always true. And number two, given all the tools we have discussed throughout this series, can you see now why having a message that is in a movie, however it may be packaged, however you might put it together, in popular media, catering to the most amount of people, is actually more effective than an art house film that is seen by very few people, but that sticks to its guns and does everything exactly the way that you should and you must. Am I saying you have to give up your creative integrity to make popular art? No. Am I saying it's good to be strategic? Absolutely. We don't have time to be whimsical and romantic about the artistic process. We have minds and hearts to change. We are living through extraordinary times with a lot of things that must be solved and fixed, people that must be looked after. You're going to need to talk to a lot of people at once. Just like I mentioned with reality TV, it's important to know where the people are. It's important to know where your community is and to speak their language. If you think you're too good for their language, just because maybe it may have rejected you, or maybe, you got an education and believe that you're better than that language, you're alienating yourself from the collective on purpose. Like, you are deciding to alienate yourself from the rest of the world. And you, I would say, have an obligation to go into popular art and elevate it, help people understand more complex topics, bring people the knowledge they need to know. Use storytelling as the data dissemination invention that storytelling has always been. Utilize narrative and utilize all of the tools you have at your disposal, because we don't have any other option. Like, we have no other choice. If you don't pick up every tool we have and use it, then you won't know that even if we fail, you've done everything you could. There will be no joy at the other side of whatever situation you are going through, whatever political or sociological situation you are going through, if you stick to your creative guns and you're only going to make intelligent media. You're not going to make pop media. You're not going to make pop music. You're not going to make blockbusters. You're not going to make popular art. You're going to make something that means something. You can do both. And your reticence to make popular art, your reticence to speak the popular language, belies your fear. And I don't have time for fear anymore. We don't have time for fear anymore. I've just lived through the worst heatwave in UK history. We do not have time to be pretentious about this anymore. We don't have time to be pretentious at all. And my final example of this is Ryan Coogler. When Ryan Coogler wants to make something of value, of note, when he wants to put an important message in a movie, he doesn't make an art house movie. He makes a blockbuster.